Live life so that you create good vibes. The good vibes. Live life so that you radiate good vibes. The good vibes. Live life so that you generate good vibes. The good vibes. Live life so as to emanate good vibes. The good vibes. Spread the message of your life with good vibes. With good vibes. With good vibes. Welcome to the Good Vibes Podcast. Namaskara Galu and welcome to the Good Vibes Podcast. We are going to call this episode number 31. And there is, you may get a little confused with the way I'm numbering my podcast episodes, because whenever there is a Tushar R episode, I'm not numbering it as a episode. I'm not numbering it in the order. In the sense, I'm skipping that. The last episode was number 29. Then there was a Tushar R, which is number 30, but it has no number. So this is the next podcast and it is number 31. This is just to show that everything comes under the Good Vibes umbrella, but we're going to not number the Tushar R episodes as the Good Vibes podcast episodes, because we're going to have a separate numbering for the Tushar Times episodes, but they're still in the Good Vibes umbrella. So the next episodes of the Good Vibes will include the Tushar R episodes. Sorry to confuse all of you, but this is just so that at the end it doesn't seem like I have two podcasts mixed in a single station, which it is in a way, but it's just two different formats. That's what I want to make sure. And let's move on to today's podcast, and the title is How to Win Yourself Over with Self-Love. And there I start the video. How to win yourself over with self-love. This is something that I experienced today. And this is how it started. I woke up. I slept very late. I slept at 12:30 last night. And guys, this is my new job. So you can actually congratulate me on this, because I am doing something that I'm really passionate about, and I'm doing something that I love. I'm not earning anything right now. My father is supporting me, and I'm very grateful to him. Thank you you should thank him that this is happening. But with all that said and done, I'm doing something I love. When I'm not practicing music, I'm working on building my website and making podcasts and promoting my Instagram page and creating an Instagram newspaper. So it's a lot of fun. And within all this, sometimes you feel stress. And what I found to be true for me, is that sometimes I experience stress and I release it, or I express it, or I'm holding stress and it is expressed through me in different ways. It could be, for example, it could be overeating, sleeping late, watching excessive movies and videos, watching pornography, excessive masturbation. And all this I have observed are signals that, okay, something is stressing me out. When I start behaving in patterns which show me, okay, I'm behaving in this certain way, I know something is stressing me out, and I try to figure out what's stressing me out. And I just silently ask myself, okay, what can it be? And sometimes it's something a person told me, something I'm worrying about in the future which hasn't happened and won't happen. Something very trivial, but it is playing out on me in these ways. So how do I deal with it, and how do I come out of it with self-love? This is the lesson that I want to tell you, that I taught myself in the podcast. So this, for a fact, happened yesterday. I was at home, and I don't remember what was stressing me out. Okay, something was stressing me out, and yeah, the fact that I hadn't maintained discipline was stressing me out, and it was causing me to maintain much less discipline than before. In the sense, I had to be serious about work, or I had to get to work, or something of that nature. In the sense, you want to discipline yourself, but when you don't discipline yourself, you go even more out of hand. That's something that happened to me. And I didn't have my dinner on time. And rather than just eating some sambar rice at home, I went and ordered pizza. So I had pizza, and then I was watching unnecessary content on Netflix, and I was watching some YouTube videos, and then things shifted, and then of course a few porno videos came into the picture. Then I realized, okay, something's stressing me out, and I started also getting addicted to just scrolling Instagram and seeing stories. So I was caught up in it's a situation where you want to escape from being yourself and in being in your situation because of something so trivial. But you don't want to face something so trivial that you'll do anything to escape it. In the end, I think I told myself I'll just deal with it, and I left my phone, put it on charge, and I slept off. And ideally I would like to wake up at 6 o'clock so that I could start work, or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I woke up at 12, 11:45, 11:50, 12. And the minute I woke up, I wouldn't say I woke up full of regret, but I woke up full of regret. In the sense, I knew I didn't spend my day, I didn't spend my evening effectively, and I could have avoided a lot of things, and I could have just spent that energy possibly meditating or practicing more music or sleeping and giving my mind some rest rather than seeing so many Insta stories or consuming so much content. And with these thoughts, I woke up in the morning, and then I knew that if I'm going to continue criticizing myself about how I've been yesterday and criticizing the fact that I've woken up so late in the morning, that it's less likely that I'm going to be kind to myself or get something good done out of myself. So, let me put it this way. When I try to be truthful to myself, it's very funny. Okay. Like, this is something that I've observed to be true to me. When I'm not kind to myself, or when I'm harsh and critical to myself, I find myself more often trying to escape a situation in which I am in, and I'll be doing things which will get me in a situation similar to that I described you of the previous night. In the sense, I'll be critical to myself, and I don't want to face this critical voice of mine. Hence, I will try to avoid it, and I'll try to escape it in my own thoughts. So I'm the critical voice and I'm escaping it in my own thoughts. So it's actually the mind fighting the mind, and it's a very it's a situation you need to understand for your own. So when I look at it, I got a very good analogy. So I had this chemistry teacher, Miss Swarnamai Mahapatra, and she was very strict when it was non-exam time. In the sense, in the lab, if you made a mistake, she would call you out for it. She would not give you marks for the tests that were internal. She would be very vigilant in her checking for homeworks and assignments, and she would be very strict. Not strict in the sense she would be critical, or she would show that she expected a lot from you very openly, and she would say that you're not producing results to my expectations. And she would be harsh and critical. And she's a very kind teacher, but in terms of being a teacher student, she would expect a lot from you, and she would call you out for every single mistake that you did. But when the tough time arose, or when there is an external examiner in the situation, or when there's board exams to give, when the external exams, when the exams that really mattered came into the picture, she would do the practicals for you and give it to you. So she would make sure that you got the best mark. She would make sure that everything happened right and smoothly, and she would make sure that it was good for you. And this is the kind of lesson I want you to see. That I know you want self-growth and self-progress. And probably I'm just telling this to myself. But you're probably correcting yourself for every small mistake and move that you make in your day. And that's good. That's you being Swarnamai ma'am when there are no hard times on, when there's no external examiner in the picture, and when there's no board exams clouding somewhere. But when times get tough for you and you start feeling the pressure, I want you to be the kind Swarnamai ma'am who makes sure that you get everything you need. You give yourself the comfort, and you give yourself the love, and you do the practicals for yourself, and you give yourself full grades for everything, whether you know it or not. Because at the end of the year, me and so many other friends of mine still didn't know the practicals, but we got very good marks because ma'am made sure that we get good marks. And she made sure that we had a good record and everything just by being there. But her teachings are invaluable because her teachings were at a time when the exam wasn't going on. So there are learnings that you are picking up, but you need to be kind to yourself. And when you love yourself, you will see that you are more willing to learn. So when you're more willing to learn, you have a better day, like I did today. I said that, okay, what's one thing I'm doing right? And I focused on that. I focused on the fact that I'm having a bath every day. And I said, thank God I'm at least having a bath every day. I'm at least doing one thing right. So we may be doing 10 things wrong, but if we focus on that and not on what we are doing right, we may not even do the one thing we are doing right that day. So I chose to focus on the one thing I was doing right that day, which was having a bath. Then I said, okay, I wasn't able to record the podcast in the morning. It doesn't matter. I'll have a bath now. I'll eat something, or I'll pack a tiffin, or I'll make my mother pack a tiffin, and go to my music class, do good music, come back home and get straight to working. And I told myself that in a very kind manner. And it worked, because I'm working now, and this is the podcast. This is a product of what I have been kind to myself, and I have come out and told you that this is how my day went. And this may not be the best podcast in the world, but it is my message for today. And it is a product of me being kind to myself, so it means a lot to me. I hope you gained some value from it. And if you did, share it and spread the good vibes. See you until next time.
Hey my friends, did you enjoy this podcast? If you did, do rate, review and subscribe to it on iTunes or whichever app or application you are using. And if you feel someone in your life needs to hear this message, don't think twice about sharing it. Or if you feel this inspires you to record one of your own podcasts, go ahead and spread the good vibes. Of your life with good vibes,